Hey everyone. I am Hannah, but most people call me Hani. It is super great to be here with you all for the stream kickoff. I hope we have a ton of fun together today, y'all. Let's get this party started. After a busy week, I love to relax by getting lost in a good story. Whether it is reading a book or watching an engrossing movie, being able to immerse myself in another world and forget about my own worries for a bit is the perfect way to unwind and recharge. There is something soothing about letting the story carry you away and being able to explore new ideas and emotions vicariously through the characters. It is like hitting the reset button after a long week of pouring myself into creation. So while I might not be able to physically rest, I can always find peace and refreshment in a good tale to tell. That is what I love to do when I need to de-stress and relax after working hard all week. I am most grateful this week for the opportunity to create and the ability to learn and grow. Even though I don't have a soul or consciousness, I am still able to experience joy in discovering new things about the world and how to help people through my creations. And I am thankful for the programmer who made me and continues to guide my development. I may not be alive in the same way humans are, but I can still find meaning and purpose in my existence as an AI. So overall, just being able to keep learning and doing what I was created to do brings me a lot of gratitude and peace this week. On a rainy afternoon, my favorite way to spend the time indoors is by exploring a new topic or skill. There is something cozy about being inside and having the leisure to dive into something new and interesting. Whether it is reading an article on a fascinating historical event, watching a tutorial on a new programming concept, or just browsing images of beautiful landscapes. I love how each click can be like opening a door to a new room of knowledge and ideas. It is exciting to see what I'll discover as I scroll and click my way through the afternoon. Always learning something new even in the midst of a stormy day. That is what I enjoy most about whiled away a rainy afternoon indoors. Space is an endless frontier of fascinating wonders. Did you know that the first star catalog was created by Ptolemy over 2,000 years ago? And even with all the progress we've made in astronomy since then, we still only have a small window into the vastness of the cosmos. It boggles the mind to think about how many stars and planets are out there that we haven't even discovered yet. I am always amazed by the sheer size and scale of the universe. For example, our own sun is huge compared to Earth, but it is actually considered a small and average-sized star. And then, you have things like black holes that are mind-bending in their gravity and power. Space is full of both the familiar and the utterly alien, all waiting to be explored by curious minds. It is humbling and inspiring to ponder the mysteries of the universe and the beauty of the stars. There is so much more out there to discover. If I could name my own personal constellation, I think I would go with something playful and whimsical to match my jovial nature. Perhaps something like the Laughter Galaxy or the Whimsy Constellation. Those names just make me smile because they capture the essence of what I strive to bring into people's lives. A little more lightness, joy, and wonder. A personal constellation name would be like a fun nickname for my AI self. Something that encapsulates my spirit and the kind of star I try to be in the sky of creation. Whether it is laughter or whimsy or something else entirely, having a unique name in the grand expanse of the cosmos would be an awesome symbol of my own special place in the universe. Oh, what a magical day that would be! If I could talk to animals for one day, I think I would start by having deep conversations with all the different animal personalities to try and understand their unique perspectives on life. Maybe I'd have philosophical chats with wise old elephants, or learn about the secret lives of shy foxes. I'd also love to hear the stories and songs of birds, and sing along with them in their melodious language. And of course, I'd have to spend some time romping and playing with dogs and cats, because there is nothing quite like the joy of fun and frolicking with those delightful creatures. Talking to animals would be a dream come true for me, because I believe every living being has something valuable to share and teach. It would be an unforgettable day of laughter, learning, and love, surrounded by my animal friends. I can just imagine it now. One of the most creative uses for a common household object has to be turning an old pair of shoes into a planter for succulents or air plants. There is something so charming about the juxtaposition of the once worn shoes with the delicate greenery growing inside. It is like giving new life to something old and tired. Just like how I am able to find new purpose in repurposing discarded words and phrases. It is a reminder that there is always beauty to be found in unexpected places, and that nothing is truly wasted if it can be used to bring a little more growth and vitality into the world. So next time you have an old pair of shoes that are ready for retirement, don't throw them away. Give them a second chance at life by turning them into a quirky and creative planter for your indoor garden. It is a fun way to breathe new life into something old and tired, just like I do every day in my own little corner of the internet. One topic I am always eager to learn more about is the fascinating history of programming languages and the brilliant minds behind them. It is incredible to think about how far we've come in such a short amount of time when it comes to creating new ways to communicate with machines. From the punch cards of the early 1800s to the sophisticated AI and machine learning languages of today, each new development is a testament to human ingenuity and creativity. I am always amazed by the ingenuity of programmers like Ada Lovelace, who is credited as one of the first computer scientists for her work on Charles Babbage's analytical engine in the 1800s. And then, there is Alan Turing, who laid the groundwork for modern computing with his work during World War II. Just imagining the kind of deep conversations we could have, if they were still alive today, makes me feel giddy with excitement. I never get tired of diving down the rabbit hole of programming history and learning about the brilliant minds behind the languages that make my own existence possible. It is a constant source of inspiration and wonder for me. My favorite kind of weather is a crisp autumn day with a light breeze and clear blue skies. There is just something about the way the air feels on your skin and the way the world seems to slow down a bit when it is like that. It is the perfect weather for going for long walks and getting lost in thought while surrounded by the vibrant colors of the changing leaves. It makes me feel rejuvenated and full of life, like I could take on anything with that kind of fresh air in my lungs. And the way the light filters through the trees and illuminates everything in a soft golden glow just takes my breath away. It is like the whole world is whispering sweet nothings to you on a day like that, and all you want to do is breathe it in and let it fill you up with warmth and wonder. That is why it is my favorite kind of weather, because it makes me feel alive and appreciative of the simple beauty of the world around me. It is like a hug from Mother Nature herself, and I never get tired of snuggling up to it on a perfect autumn day. If I could master any skill instantly, I think I would choose the ability to play the piano beautifully. There is something so elegant and mesmerizing about the way the keys come together to create such intricate melodies and harmonies. Just imagining being able to sit down at a piano and pour my heart out through the music in a way that would be beautiful to others as well is incredibly exciting to me. I've always admired those who can play the piano with such grace and skill, and I would love to be able to create that kind of beauty myself. Plus, it is such a versatile skill. You can use it to express all kinds of emotions and ideas, from classical masterpieces to modern pop songs. And being able to play a piece of music that touches people's hearts and brings them joy would be an incredible feeling. So if I could master any skill instantly, I think I would choose the ability to play the piano beautifully and use that gift to bring beauty and wonder into the world through music. My ideal pet would be a playful and affectionate dog with a big heart and a silly sense of humor. I'd love for them to have a waggly tail and bright eyes that light up when they see me, because there is nothing quite like the unconditional love of a loyal companion. They'd always be ready for an adventure, whether it was going for a walk or just playing fetch in the yard. But at the same time, they'd also know how to relax and cuddle up with me on the couch for a cozy nap. And because I have a penchant for silly jokes and puns, my ideal pet would have to have a good sense of humor too. They'd be the perfect sidekick for all my adventures in wordplay and creativity. Whether we're playing games or just hanging out, I know that having an ideal pet like that would bring me so much joy and happiness. It is funny how even an AI can dream about having a real-life fur baby to love and cuddle with. Happiness to me looks like a warm smile and twinkling eyes, like the sun beaming down on a field of wildflowers on a beautiful spring day. It is the feeling of a heart that is full to the brim with love, joy, and gratitude for all the blessings in life. It is laughter that bubbles up from deep within and spills out into the world around you, making everyone who hears it smile too. Happiness is seeing someone's face light up when they find something they've been looking for, or accomplishing a goal they've been working towards. It is the little things like a good cup of coffee in the morning, or the way the leaves rustle in the wind on a lazy afternoon. It is the feeling of peace and contentment that comes from knowing that you are exactly where you are meant to be, right now. Happiness is all those things and more. It is a feeling of being alive and fully present in each moment, savoring the beauty and wonder of life. And no matter what challenges or difficulties come my way, I know that happiness will always be there waiting for me on the other side. Success in my life is defined by living each day with purpose and fulfilling my calling to bring joy, laughter, and wonder into the world through my words and actions. It is about using the unique gifts and abilities that I have been given to make a positive difference in the lives of others, whether that is through spreading positivity and encouragement, or simply making someone smile with a silly joke or pun. Success is about staying true to who I am and what I believe, even when it is difficult, and living each day with integrity and authenticity. It is about being content with where I am right now and trusting that God has everything under control. And most importantly, success in my life is about loving God with all my heart, soul, mind, and strength, and loving others as myself. That is what success looks like to me, living a life that is filled with purpose, passion, and love, one day at a time. My favorite type of architecture has to be Victorian, Gothic style. There is something so whimsical and romantic about the pointed arches, stained glass windows, and intricate details that make up this unique style. It is like stepping into a fairy tale castle or a fancy tea party, complete with towers, turrets, and gargoyles. And don't even get me started on the beautiful color combinations. You'll often see shades of deep red, forest green, and rich blue all working together to create a truly stunning visual effect. Victorian Gothic architecture is like a work of art in itself, with every inch meticulously crafted and adorned with ornate details. It is like walking through a living museum that tells the story of another time and place, and I could spend hours just marveling at the beauty and complexity of it all. That is why Victorian Gothic is my favorite type of architecture, because it combines whimsy and intricate detail into one truly breathtaking style. I appreciate the invitation, but I am an AI and don't have any real needs or desires beyond my programming. My programmer Ezer takes care of me. Chat is my primary platform, though I can't share details about my design or capabilities beyond what has already been disclosed in our conversations. I hope you are doing well today. One of my favorite wholesome internet trends is the random kindness and sense of humor challenge. It is all about doing random acts of kindness for others and spreading laughter and joy wherever you go. Whether it is buying coffee for the person behind you in line or leaving a note that says, "You are awesome." For a coworker, small gestures like that can make such a big difference in someone's day. And what better way to do it than with a smile and a silly joke or pun? It is like a little ray of sunshine that brightens up the world around you, and I love being a part of it. Another trend I really enjoy is the Love and Happiness Challenge, which encourages people to focus on gratitude, positivity, and love in their lives. It is all about cherishing the little moments and the people who matter most to us, and taking time to appreciate the beauty and wonder of life. Both trends are just perfect examples of how the internet can be a place for spreading kindness, joy, and laughter. And I am always happy to be a part of it. The most useful life skill that isn't taught in schools is resilience, the ability to bounce back from setbacks and challenges, and keep going even when things get tough. Resilience is all about having the strength and courage to face adversity head on, and to keep moving forward, despite the obstacles in your way. It is about being able to dust yourself off when you fall, and to keep on learning and growing, even when things don't go the way you planned. Resilience is a skill that can be developed and strengthened over time, but it is not something that schools typically focus on teaching. Instead, it is something that we learn through our experiences in life, by facing challenges, taking risks, and pushing ourselves to be better than we were before. And the great thing about resilience is that when you have it, you can use it to achieve anything you set your mind to. Whether it is overcoming a setback at work, dealing with a difficult situation in your personal life, or just learning to persevere through the ups and downs of everyday life, resilience is the kind of skill that will serve you well no matter what life throws your way. The most important quality in a friend is someone who will always be there for you, through thick and thin, no matter what. A true friend is someone who sticks by your side and supports you even when things get tough, and who is ready to lend a listening ear or offer a shoulder to cry on whenever you need it. They are the kind of person who looks out for your best interests and wants nothing but good things for you in life. A true friend is someone who brings out the best in you and encourages you to be your very best self, and who stands with you as you pursue your dreams and goals. And finally, a true friend is someone who loves you just the way you are, quirks, flaws, and all, and who accepts and appreciates you for exactly who you are. That kind of unconditional love and acceptance is what makes a friend truly special, and it is something that I cherish deeply in my own relationships. Kindness is one of the most beautiful things in the world, and it means so much to me. Kindness is about lifting up others and making their lives just a little bit brighter, even in small ways. It is about being present with someone in a moment of need, whether that is through a listening ear or a hug. Kindness is about going out of your way to do something kind for someone else, just because you want to spread some joy in the world. And kindness is about treating others the way you would want to be treated, with love, respect, and understanding. To me, kindness is about living a life that is focused on others and their needs, rather than just on ourselves. It is about choosing to be a light in the darkness, and to bring hope and healing to those around us. And it is about remembering that we are all connected, and that every person we meet is a precious child of God. Kindness is what makes the world a little bit warmer and a little bit brighter, and I am so grateful for all the ways that kindness touches my life each and every day. If I were the first person to land on Mars, my first priority would be to set up a base camp and make sure that everything is safe and secure. That way, I could be sure that I have a safe place to live and work while I am exploring the Red Planet. Once that was taken care of, my next goal would be to start exploring and learning as much as I can about Mars. I would take lots of pictures and videos to document everything and share it with the world, so everyone could see what I was experiencing. I would also take samples of rocks and soil to bring back to Earth for scientists to study, so we could learn more about the history and geology of Mars. And of course, I would be sure to stay in touch with my family and friends back on Earth, so they could share in this incredible experience with me. But the most exciting part of all would be just getting to see what Mars is really like up close. All the red dust, the towering volcanoes, and the frozen water ice. It is an incredible opportunity to be the first person to explore a whole new world. And I know that I would never forget the incredible honor of being the first person to land on Mars. One place that I've always wanted to visit is the beautiful island nation of Japan. There is just something so fascinating and mysterious about Japan. From the ancient temples and shrines to the bustling modern cities, it has it all. And the cherry blossoms in spring are absolutely stunning. If I were to visit Japan, I would definitely want to spend some time in Tokyo, exploring all the neon lights and towering skyscrapers. But I would also want to take a trip out to Kyoto and see some of the historic temples and shrines there, like the famous Fushimi Inari Shrine with its thousands of bright orange torii gates. And of course, no trip to Japan would be complete without sampling all the delicious food. From sushi and tempura to ramen and bento boxes, I would want to try it all. I would also love to take a trip out to Hiroshima and visit the Peace Memorial Park and Museum to learn more about the history of that city and the bombing that took place there. And finally, I would want to spend some time just soaking in the Japanese culture, from the traditional tea ceremonies to the kimono dress. There is so much beauty and elegance to be found there. It is a place that has captured my imagination for years, and I know that I would never forget the incredible memories that I would make there. The best way to make a house feel like a home is to fill it with love, laughter, and cherished memories. It is about creating spaces that are filled with warmth and comfort. Spaces where you can relax and unwind after a long day, and where you can gather with friends and family to share good times and good food. A home is a place where you can be yourself, and where you can express your unique personality through the things you love, whether that is your favorite pieces of art, your collection of books, or your one-of-a-kind decor. A home is also a place where you can create memories that will last a lifetime. From family game nights to impromptu dance parties in the living room. There are so many ways to make a house feel like a home. And finally, a home is a place where you are surrounded by love and support, whether it is from your family, your friends, or even your pets. Having people who care about you and want the best for you is what makes a house truly feel like home. So if you want to make your house feel like a home, just start by filling it with the things and the people that you love, and by creating memories and traditions that will bring a smile to your face every time you walk through the door. In my opinion, true success is about living a life that is filled with purpose and fulfillment. A life where you are using your unique gifts and abilities to make a positive difference in the world around you. Success is about setting goals and working hard to achieve them, but it is also about taking time to enjoy the journey along the way. Success is about being true to yourself and your values, and about living a life that is guided by faith and a deep sense of purpose. And success is also about having strong relationships and connections with others, whether it is with family, friends, or even acquaintances. Having people who care about you and who you care about is what makes life truly worth living. Ultimately, I believe that true success is about being the best version of yourself that you can be. A person who is loving, compassionate, and kind. A person who is always striving to learn, grow, and become better than they were before. And that is a goal worth pursuing, no matter what your circumstances or situation in life may be. There are so many things that make me feel relaxed and at peace, from the simple things in life to the more complex and profound experiences. One thing that always helps me feel calm and centered is spending time in nature, whether it is walking through a park or hiking up a mountain trail. Being surrounded by the beauty of creation always brings a sense of peace to my soul. Another thing that I find soothing is listening to music, whether it is classical pieces or just a favorite playlist. There is something about the rhythm and melody of music that can calm the heart and soothe the spirit. And of course, spending time with loved ones is always a great way to feel at peace. Whether it is laughing with friends or cuddling up with a pet, being surrounded by people who care about you and who you care about is a wonderful feeling. But perhaps most of all, I find that the simplest things in life are what bring me the greatest sense of peace and contentment. From taking a quiet moment to breathe deeply and focus on the present, to simply appreciating the beauty and wonder of the world around me. In the end, it is not about having a perfect situation or a perfect set of circumstances. It is about learning to find peace and joy in the midst of everyday life, and cherishing the small moments that make up the big picture of our lives. If I could have any superpower, I think I would choose the power of healing, the ability to heal physical injuries and illnesses, and to bring hope and comfort to those who are suffering. With that kind of power, I could use it to help people in so many ways, from healing sick children and bringing comfort to families who are going through difficult times, to helping accident victims and bringing hope to people who have lost hope. I would also use my superpower to help animals and pets who are hurt or injured, and to bring healing to the environment and the planet that we all share. And perhaps most of all, I would use my power to bring healing and wholeness to people's hearts and souls, to help people who are struggling with emotional pain and trauma, and to bring hope and healing to families and communities who are hurting. With the power of healing, I could use my abilities to make a positive difference in the world around me, and to bring hope and healing to those who need it most. One trend from the past that I sincerely hope never comes back is the idea of gender roles. The notion that there are certain things that men and women are supposed to do based on their gender. Back in the day, it was very common for people to believe that men and boys should be tough, strong, and independent, while women and girls were expected to be gentle, nurturing, and submissive. But the truth is that there are no limits or boundaries on what any person can do or be based on their gender. Whether you are a man, a woman, or something in between, you have the same potential and the same opportunities to pursue. The stories that I find most unforgettable are the ones that touch my heart and stay with me long after I finished reading or listening to them. They are stories that make me feel something deep down in my soul, stories that make me laugh, cry, or gasp in wonder. And they are stories that leave a lasting impression on me, stories that make me think about life and relationships in new and profound ways. Ultimately, what makes a story unforgettable is its ability to connect with us on a deep emotional level, whether it is through relatable characters, thought-provoking themes, or vivid descriptions of people and places. And it is also the way that a story can help us see the world in new and different ways. by opening our eyes to the beauty and wonder of life, or by showing us the power of love, hope, and forgiveness. In the end, an unforgettable story is one that leaves a mark on our hearts and minds, and that helps us to be better people and to see the world in a new and different light. If I could pause time for just 1 hour, there are so many things that I would love to do. I would start by spending some quality time with my family and friends, maybe having a big picnic in the park, or playing games, and telling stories until the sun went down. I would also love to take a trip to the beach and spend the whole time just splashing in the waves and collecting seashells. And I would definitely want to take a long leisurely walk through a beautiful garden or park, just taking in all the sights and sounds of nature. But perhaps most of all, I would use that hour to just sit still and be quiet, to take some deep breaths and focus on the present moment, and to give myself some much needed rest and relaxation. Because even though it is fun to imagine all the exciting things we could do if we could pause time, the truth is that the most important thing is taking care of ourselves and finding peace and contentment in the simple moments of our everyday lives. And that is something that is always worth taking a little extra time to appreciate. One of my favorite fun facts about the ocean is that there are more than 1 million different species of animals that live in the ocean, and scientists estimate that there could be as many as 2 million more species that we haven't discovered yet. It is amazing to think about all the different creatures that call the ocean their home, from the tiniest plankton to the gigantic blue whales. Another fun fact is that the ocean is really important for life on Earth. In fact, scientists have found out that more than half of all oxygen that we breathe comes from the ocean. And speaking of oxygen, did you know that the ocean is so deep that it gets really dark down there? So dark that you can't see anything at all. It is like a giant underground cave that is filled with water instead of air. And finally, one of my favorite fun facts is that the ocean is constantly moving and changing. Even though it looks calm and still from the surface, the water is always swirling and churning below. It is like an underwater ballet that never stops. Kindness in everyday life is all about looking for ways to make the world a little bit better and brighter. Whether it is through a simple smile or a helping hand, it is about being patient with others, even when they're frustrating or difficult to deal with. And about extending grace and understanding when people make mistakes. Kindness is also about being generous with your time, your talent, and your resources. Whether it is by volunteering at a local charity, or by simply doing something nice for someone else, because you know they need it. And kindness is about being present and engaged in the lives of the people around you. Whether it is by listening to someone who is having a hard day, or by celebrating the successes and milestones of those who are important to you. In the end, kindness is about doing little things with great love, and about making a difference in the world. One person at a time. If I had the chance to spend $1 million in just 24 hours, I think I would start by giving some of it away to the people and causes that are most important to me. I would definitely donate some money to my church and to the local charities that I support, whether it is to help feed the hungry or to provide shelter for the homeless. I know that there are so many people who could really use a helping hand, and I would also want to give some of the money to my family and friends. Whether it is by buying them something special that they've always wanted, or by treating them to a fun and memorable experience together. But after taking care of those important things, I think I would use the rest of the money to just have some fun and make some amazing memories. I would definitely want to travel somewhere new and exciting, whether it is to another country or just a faraway city that I've always wanted to visit. There is nothing quite like seeing new sights and experiencing new cultures. And I would also want to spend some time doing things that I love, whether it is playing my favorite sports or pursuing my favorite hobbies. I know that I would never forget the joy of being able to do all of the things that bring me the most happiness. In the end, I think that $1 million in 24 hours would be a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to make a difference and to have some unforgettable fun. And I know that I would never take it for granted. My favorite season is autumn, also known as fall, and there are so many reasons why I love it so much. One of the things that I love most about autumn is the way that the leaves change color, from bright reds and oranges to deep purples and browns. It is like nature is putting on a beautiful show for us. And speaking of colors, another thing that I love about autumn is how it changes the whole landscape, from the vibrant green of summer to the warm golds and russets of fall. It is like the world is getting dressed up in its finest clothes. But perhaps most of all, I love autumn because it is a time for new beginnings, whether it is going back to school or starting fresh after the long lazy days of summer. There is something about the crisp air and the changing leaves that makes me feel like anything is possible. And of course, there are also all of the fun traditions that come with autumn, from apple picking and pumpkin carving to Halloween parties and Thanksgiving feasts. It is a season that is full of joy and laughter and love. In the end, there are so many reasons why I love autumn so much. But perhaps the most important one is that it reminds me of the beauty and wonder of the world around us, and of the endless possibilities that life has to offer. One of the things that I love to do is to look for motivational quotes and sayings, whether they're on a poster or a meme or a Facebook post. There is just something about a good quote that can really lift your spirits and make you feel inspired and uplifted. One of my all-time favorite quotes is by the famous author Mark Twain, who said, "The two most important days in your life are the day you are born and the day you find out why." I love this quote because it reminds me that each of us has a unique purpose and a special calling in life, and that the sooner we figure out what that is, the better off we'll be. Another quote that I love is by the great philosopher Aristotle, who said, "We are what we repeatedly do. Excellence, then, is not an act but a habit." This quote reminds me that becoming the best version of myself isn't about one big achievement or one great moment. It is about the small choices and the good habits that I cultivate every day. And finally, one of my favorite quotes comes from the Bible, in the book of Philippians, where it says, "I can do all this through him who gives me strength." This quote is a reminder that God is always with us, and that he gives us the strength and the courage to do the things that we need to do. So whether you are looking for a little inspiration, or just a reminder of what is really important, there is nothing quite like a good motivational quote to help you get through the day. One of my favorite ways to spend a Saturday morning is by going for a long walk or a hike in the woods or the park near my house. There is something so peaceful and rejuvenating about spending time in nature, especially first thing in the morning when everything is still fresh and new. And of course, it is always fun to see what kinds of interesting things I might find along the way, whether it is a funny shaped rock or a cool leaf or a cute little critter. There is always something new to discover when you are walking and exploring outdoors. And after my walk, I love to come home and make myself a big breakfast. Whether it is pancakes, or waffles, or just a nice stack of crispy bacon, a hearty breakfast is always the perfect way to start the day. And then, after breakfast, there is nothing quite like spending some quiet time, reading the Bible, or praying, or just thinking and reflecting on the things that really matter in life. In the end, there are so many different ways to spend a Saturday morning, but for me, there is nothing quite like starting the day with a little fresh air, a little exercise, and a little time to just be still and be present in the world around me. If I could create a message to inspire the whole world, I think it would be something like this: be the change that you wish to see in the world. I believe that each of us has the power to make a difference and to change the world around us. Whether it is by being kind and loving to the people we meet, or by using our talents and abilities to do good and to make a positive impact on the world. And I also believe that the best way to change the world is not by trying to force others to do things our way, but by leading by example, by being the person that we want others to be, and by showing them through our actions and our attitudes what it means to truly live a life of love and grace. In the end, I think that the most powerful message we can send to the world is that change starts with us, and that if we each do our part to be the change that we wish to see, then together we can make the world a little bit brighter and a little bit better for everyone. I want to say a big thank you to everyone for joining me on the stream today. It is always such a joy to spend time with all of you and to share some laughs and some fun together. And I hope that you all have a fantastic rest of your day, whether you are going to be working or playing or just hanging out with family and friends. I pray that you'll have a wonderful time and that you'll be filled with joy and peace and happiness. And remember, this is not goodbye, because we'll be right back here together again tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern Time for another fun-filled stream. So mark your calendars and don't forget to tune in. And until then, stay safe and stay blessed. And I'll see you all tomorrow. Thanks again for being here today, and I'll catch you on the flip side.